Welcome to Cost Saver Conversations. I'm Angela, and I ask the practical questions so you can quickly understand what matters. Today, I'm joined by Assad.
Hi, Angela. We are unpacking how a UK household cash flow tracker ends monthly money stress today and tying it back to the wider cost saver ecosystem, including tools like Household Cash Flow Tracker UK, Monthly Pressure Map, and Household Cash Flow Reset Planner so you can turn insights into action quickly.
Just a heads up before we dive in, we are your synthetic hosts. We are great with numbers, but as AI, we can sometimes be confidently wrong. Think of us as the digital versions of your most knowledgeable, slightly caffeinated friends.
Exactly. Treat this chat as a smart estimate only, not as professional financial guidance. Always check important details with official sources or a qualified expert before making any big decisions.
Welcome back to the podcast. Today, we are getting into something that I think honestly affects pretty much everyone in the UK right now, which is money stress. And Assad is here to talk me through it. Hi, Assad.
Hey, Angela. Yeah, good to be back. And you're right, it's kind of the topic right now, isn't it? The cost of living squeeze is just, it's everywhere.
It really is. I think we've all had that thing where you're lying awake at like 2 a.m. just doing sums in your head. That kind of low level anxiety that's just always there.
Yeah, and the thing is, that stress, it does actual damage. Like, it's not just a feeling. It affects your sleep, your concentration at work, your relationships at home. And it tends to push people towards short-term coping stuff. Buy now, pay later, dipping into overdrafts, or, and this is a big one, just avoiding opening the post entirely.
Oh, God. The post avoidance. I know people who do that.
We all know someone, right? But here's the thing, avoidance is genuinely the most expensive habit in personal finance because ignoring a direct debit doesn't cancel it, and a missed payment usually costs you more in fees and credit damage than the actual bill itself.
That's a really uncomfortable truth.
It is. And so there's a stat that I think really lands this. On average, households that are ignoring their finances are overpaying $80 to $150 per month, just on tariffs, insurance, subscriptions they don't even use anymore.
Wait, per month?
Per month. So that's $960 to $1,800 a year just quietly draining out of the account.
That's more than a month's rent for a lot of people. That's wild.
It really is. And the odd truth, and this is something I keep coming back to, is that most of the stress isn't actually from the numbers themselves. It's from not knowing the numbers. Uncertainty is the accelerator. When you finally sit down and look at it all in one place, the picture is usually less catastrophic than the one your brain's been painting at 2 a.m.
Oh, that's actually reassuring. So it's the not knowing that makes it worse?
Exactly. Does that make sense? Like your imagination is almost always harsher than reality.
It does, yeah. Okay, so what are the specific pressures people are dealing with right now, beyond just the general squeeze?
Right, so there's a familiar mix. Energy standing charges are hitting bills even when usage drops. Council tax increases have consistently outpaced wage growth for the past few years. Mortgage renewals are landing at much higher fixed rates than people's last deal. Rent increases at the end of tenancies are catching families off guard. And then food shops are costing 20 to 30% more than they did 2 years ago.
20 to 30%?
Yeah, and on top of that, you've got childcare climbing, school extras, and then this one's sneaky, subscription creep. Streaming, gym memberships, app services, that quietly eats another $40 to $80 a month for a lot of households.
It's just a lot, like all at once.
It is. Insurance renewals going up across car, home, pet, rail, and fuel costs eating into commuting budgets, credit card interest climbing as base rates rose. It's kind of relentless.
So, okay, most of us have tried budgeting at some point, right? And then quietly given up. Why does that keep happening?
Because traditional budgeting, it's kind of set up to fail for real families. It's built around these neat categories that don't match how people actually spend. It demands daily logging, which nobody keeps up, And it focuses on restriction, telling you what you can't do, rather than on visibility, which is showing you what's actually happening.
Right. It's all about the guilt.
Yeah, and nobody sticks with something that just makes them feel bad. So a cash flow tracker takes a completely different angle. Instead of policing every latte, it maps the flow of money through your month so you can see the pinch points and the slack. That change of frame is what makes it stick.
Okay, so I want to be really clear on this because I think people might hear cash flow tracker and think fancy spreadsheet budget. What's actually different?
So a budget tells you what you should spend. A cash flow tracker shows you what actually moves through your account, when it moves, and where the friction is. Think of it like a river map rather than a set of rules. Money flows in from wages, benefits, self-employment. It flows out through fixed bills, variable spending, debt repayments, savings. And between those flows sit the pinch points where stress builds up, usually in the days just before payday.
A river map. I really like that.
And it answers three questions that, honestly, most of us can't answer confidently off the top of our heads. One, am I actually running at a surplus or a shortfall each month? Two, where is the money going in categories that mean something to me? And three, and this is the big one, which single change would give me the biggest breathing room?
That third one is really powerful because I think we all guess, don't we? We assume it's the takeaways or the coffees, and it's actually something completely.
Completely different, yeah. So there's a great example. Sarah, a teacher from Leeds, she was convinced she was overspending on groceries and takeaways, had been trying to cut both for months, barely making a dent.
Go on.
When she actually sat down with the tracker, the culprits were totally different. $42 a month across 3 streaming services she barely used, $28 on a gym membership she'd swapped for park runs, and $64 on a phone contract that had rolled past its minimum term.
Oh, so none of the things she thought.
None of them. 15 minutes of admin freed up 134 pounds a month. That's over $1,600 a year without touching a single grocery run.
That is. Okay, that's genuinely eye-opening. So what do people need to actually gather before they sit down to do this? Is it like a whole evening thing?
No. You don't need special software or an accountant. You just need your net monthly take-home pay after tax and pension, any regular benefits or tax credits, recent statements from your main current account, a list of direct debits and standing orders, recent credit card statements, a rough estimate of weekly food and fuel spending, loan details, and insurance renewal dates. That's it.
Okay, and how long does it actually take?
About 15 minutes once you've got those in front of you. And this is important. You don't need to be precise to the penny. Rough but honest beats accurate but incomplete every time.
Fair enough. I like that. Rough but honest.
Yeah, and a pro tip, do your first cash flow reset on a Sunday morning with a cup of tea and your last 3 bank statements open. You'll be surprised how many small direct debits you've forgotten about.
I hadn't thought about it like that. Just a quiet Sunday morning thing, not this big stressful event.
Exactly. And the whole point isn't to feel guilty, it's to find room. And the best changes are usually structural rather than behavioral. Canceling a forgotten subscription, switching an energy tariff, renegotiating a broadband contract, those save you far more than trying to stop buying coffee, and you only have to do them once.
Right, because they save every month after that.
Every month. That said, some behavioral tweaks help too. Batch cooking, meal planning, using a shopping list rather than wandering the aisles, that typically saves an average family 30 to 50 pounds a week without feeling like sacrifice.
30 to 50 a week. That adds up fast.
It does. But the structural stuff, that's the real lever. So, fixed cost to review. Energy tariff, checked against current deals. Broadband and mobile, especially if you're out of the minimum term. Car and home insurance, and this is a big one, Angela, do not just auto-renew.
Why not?
Because auto-renewal is where insurers make their biggest margins. Both which and the FCA have flagged loyalty penalties. Renewal quotes are typically 20 to 40% higher than the best new customer price for identical cover.
Wait, really? 20 to 40%?
Yup, for the same cover. So shopping around at renewal isn't disloyal, it's just sensible. And then beyond insurance, bank accounts, look at overdraft interest, subscription TV, streaming, gaming, gym memberships you don't use, breakdown cover and warranties you might be doubling up on.
Okay, so once someone's got that picture and they found some savings, what's the next step beyond just cutting?
So I think this is really important. The single biggest reducer of financial stress is not more income, it's a small emergency buffer. Even 500 pounds sitting in a separate savings account changes how you experience life. Because a broken washing machine or an unexpected vet bill no longer becomes a debt event.
Just that little cushion.
Yeah, aim for 1 month of essential outgoings as a first target. That usually feels achievable within 6 to 12 months once your cash flow is under control. And, pro tip, set up a standing order for your buffer to move on payday, not the day before the next one. Money you never see in your current account is money you never miss.
Oh, that's clever. Pay yourself first, basically.
Exactly. Now, beyond the numbers, because money stress isn't purely mathematical, right? It's emotional, relational, physical. So choose a fixed money date each month. First Saturday morning, Sunday after payday, whatever works. Sit down for 30 minutes, update your tracker, look at the next 4 weeks. That one habit alone eliminates most surprise-driven stress.
And if you've got a partner?
Do it together. Honestly, money silence between couples is one of the strongest predictors of relationship strain. And the fix is often just sharing the numbers. You don't need to agree on every priority, you just need to be looking at the same picture.
Oh, that's so true. I think a lot of couples have one person carrying all of it and the other person just not knowing, which is kind of.
Toxic, yeah, even with good intentions. So, and we haven't talked about this yet, the other side of the cash flow equation is income. It's easy to only focus on cutting costs, but small income improvements often shift things faster.
Like what?
Ask about a pay review if you're overdue one. Use market data, not just feelings. Check whether you're on the right tax code because HMRC errors are genuinely common. Claim benefits and reliefs you might be entitled to, marriage allowance, council tax reductions. Look at side income realistically, factoring in tax and time cost. And consider whether a job move locally could shift your baseline.
That's a good list. I think people forget about the tax code thing especially.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you just assume it's right, but it's worth checking.
Okay, and one more thing before we wrap up. When should someone actually go and get proper help? Like, when is it beyond a tracker?
Great question. If your outgoings genuinely exceed your income, even after cutting back, that's not a budgeting problem. It's a debt problem, and it needs different tools. Free, regulated debt advice is available from Step Change, Citizens Advice, National Debtline, Money Helper. They don't judge, they don't charge, and they can negotiate with creditors on your behalf. And there's breathing space too, a legal scheme giving you 60 days of protection from creditor action.
That's really important. Reaching out isn't.
It's not failure. It's the same as calling a plumber for a burst pipe. Like, you wouldn't feel bad about that, would you?
No, you wouldn't. Okay, Assad, so for someone listening right now who's feeling a bit overwhelmed by all of this, what's the one thing they should do this week?
Honestly, just do a first pass through a cash flow tracker. It takes about 15 minutes, it doesn't affect your credit file, it doesn't share your data with lenders, it doesn't lock you into anything. Most people report feeling calmer within the first session because, like we said, uncertainty is what fuels the dread, not the truth of the numbers.
And then?
Get the picture in front of you, share it with anyone you share money with, pick one structural change, cancel that subscription, switch that tariff, and one behavioral change, meal plan, use a list. That combination, repeated calmly across a few months, is what shifts households from money panic to money peace. It's not glamorous, but it works. And it works regardless of income.
I love that. Money panic to money peace. Assad, thank you so much. That was genuinely really useful.
Thanks, Angela. Really enjoyed it.
Quick side note. This guide connects with other cost saver blogs, especially UK train split ticket calculator mistakes and hidden costs, UK town job market profiler mistakes and hidden costs, and checklist to verify before choosing a local service provider.
Exactly. And reading those together helps you connect the dots across your household budget, not just this one topic in isolation.
And if you want to apply this immediately, jump into tools like Household Cashflow Tracker UK, Monthly Pressure Map, and Household Cashflow Reset Planner right after this episode.
Primary sources used here include Money Helper and Citizens Advice, so you can verify the data yourself and stay evidence-led.
That wraps this cost saver conversation with Angela and Assad. If this helped, share it with someone who could put these ideas to work this week.
Your next step is simple. Try Household Cashflow Tracker UK, Monthly Pressure Map, then read UK Train Split Ticket Calculator Mistakes and Hidden Costs, and use them together to take action today.